Here we go, back up to a restart. Quickly, let's go over the overtime rules. We're about to go back green, but we get 2 laps, a green lap, a white lap, and then checkered. If the green lap is completed, the race is official. If the green lap is not completed, we re-rack and restart, and we do it all over again. After all 3 attempts are used, a caution can end the race. Here we go, green flag back in the air. We are racing again here at California. Already contact there with Joe Lawrence. He's trying to hang on. He pedals the car, but it holds up. No rainwater. Out front is Vicente Salas, and it is Lane Riggs.
A heck of a save by Joe Lawrence as they are single file. Riggs and Salas duking it out, trying to do what they can to fight each other for this win. Riggs is trying to find a way around on the top side, but as they come around, it's going to be white flag in the air, presented by Whiplash Simcams. We are going to make this race official, and we're going to finish it on my favorite number. White flag is in the air. Riggs underneath Salas for the lead.
For the lead and the win here at Auto Club Speedway, Lane Riggs finally gets down to the inside of Vicente Salas through turns 1 and 2. Can he hold on to it? Side by side still down the back straightaway.
Riggs is going to do everything he can, but he's by himself. He's not going to have the drafting help as Slow is up top, trying to decide who he's going to push. The nose in front goes to Riggs. Slow goes to the bottom.
Big send for Slow. He's going to move up the racetrack now. Brandon Slow driving Lane Riggs to the wall. It's going to be a straight-up drag race down to the stripe. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be, I don't know. Vicente Salas, I think, has done it again.
What a finish!
Wow!
What a run to the end by these drivers. Officially, Salas gets it, and Slow and Riggs tie 17 one-thousandths of a second behind Salas.
The new year is upon us, and with it comes a new batch of leagues beginning their 2026 campaigns. Up first on our slate is the All-American Racing League, taking NASCAR Cup cars to Bristol this fine Sunday morning in a recruitment effort to bring more drivers ahead of their points season. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Bristol, Tennessee. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the BoostedSafe 150 by All-American Racing. Today's coverage is brought to you by BoostedSafe, by Bully Dog Coffee Company, and by All-American Racing League. Zach, this is bright and early. This is about 12 hours different from when we would typically turn on a broadcast. Maybe 10 hours, maybe 8 hours, but this is certainly a lot earlier than we typically turn on a broadcast. But we're glad to be here on a Sunday morning, the very first Sunday of 2026 for the very first broadcast here of 2026. Very briefly, you know what? We don't have points. Let's look at the track map here a while. Let's talk about Bristol Motor Speedway. This shows the single pit lane configuration. I believe you can tell us if we're on dual or single, although we don't have a ton of cars here today, regardless.
Looking at what's going on here today at Bristol, I believe it's actually not really showing me that too much. Give me just a moment, I can...
Well, is there a blue line in turns 3 and 4?
Well, see, the blue line is there in general, if I'm not mistaken.
So if the blue line is there, which it sounds like it is, then it's single pit lane. But I will say, this is a recruitment race, and let's be honest, it's early, it's a Sunday, there's a very niche set of drivers that's going to run on a Sunday morning like this, and these guys, All-American Racing League, is trying to find those drivers, drum them up, and get them into this league for 2026. So this is, if you're seeing this on YouTube, and, well, you're up, you could have been in this race, and you know, this is good to know, obviously, for next week as they continue their recruitment effort. Again, let's be honest, it's early. There's a niche subset of drivers that's going to be willing to run this early on a Sunday morning. Of course, everybody has church, everybody has all kinds of things going on. These guys are doing it, though, and I respect it. We're here doing it with them this morning. I almost said this afternoon, not even close. This morning here, 10 a.m. Eastern, not even. So we're going to have some fun. We've got NASCAR Cup cars, the high banks of Bristol, and 150 laps to do it. Now, again, not a ton of cars. We're going to make the most of what we've got this morning and get to know these guys a little bit. They're in search of a broadcaster to be, you know, perfectly candid for 2026, and we're in the running, so we're going to take a look at the action they've got to provide here today. One thing we can do, Zach, because we don't have points or a schedule or anything to look at like that, like we typically would, is going to be the brand new MX Wraps weather conditions for this race. And granted, this is still during qualifying. These guys have all done their qualifying laps, but there are 5 minutes to go in qualifying, but this is in the qualifying session at least. Here's a look at the race weather, looking at 68 degrees ambient, 81 track, and we can also look at the date and time here. It is set to May 17th, 5:30. It looks like static time, so we're not advancing right now, and I don't think we will be at all in this session. So it's kind of trying to find almost like the old school way of doing things, right? A good time of day that works, but it's not going to advance into sunset.
Yeah, no, I like day races at Bristol. I think they provide a little bit of an atmosphere, different compared to the fall race, the Bristol night race. I know a lot of people really enjoy the intensity that comes with being at Bristol under the lights, last great Coliseum, but I like the day race. I like the complexity it brings. I like how the track is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be hotter. It's going to be a little bit slicker, especially in these next-gen race cars that tend to snap loose on corner exit sometimes. I think it provides a different challenge for these guys.
Now, I can't confirm, but I believe if you're listening to our voices, if you're an iRacing driver, and if your sim and whatnot is up and running, I believe you can join this. I believe it might be a league. We were told it was a recruitment race, so I check hosted at the very least. See if you can find the session and see if you can join if you want to run this league and go on further with these guys here on Sunday mornings. I don't know for sure. I see Richard Wolsifer and Zach King from the BRB Racing League that we cover on Tuesdays. I see them in YouTube chat. I don't know for sure, but at least check hosted. See if it's there. It might be. It's worth looking as we have a couple of minutes left here in this qualifying session. Again, everybody's run their laps. We're just kind of waiting on the session to tick down. And, I mean, we have less than, well, about 2 minutes. Oh, it's under leagues. Okay. League owner chiming in now. So, I wonder if we can get maybe a league code. Maybe we can get a couple of drivers in, possibly. Since it sounds like he's listening to my voice. But you know what, Zach? As we wait on that, and we have a couple of minutes here, let's talk about what's upcoming as we begin 2026. Almost at 25. 2026. Yeah.
You know, you start signing papers with 25 instead of 26.
Yeah, I'm glad I haven't had to do that yet. Okay, so drivers, if you want to join, you can apply to League ID 13662, and you can get into the league quickly. So if you're out there wanting to come run really quick, League ID 13662, All-American Racing League, and you can still join the session. You got to be lickety-split, though, as we talk about what's upcoming. 40. Right, as we talk about what's upcoming here in 2026. To start this first week, we have a lot, actually, on the slate. We've added today's broadcast here with the All-American Racing League, and we've added tomorrow's broadcast with the Sim Midget Racing Association. We have got a Chili Bowl coming to you guys for 2026. I believe there's even still time to enter, so if you're hearing this and you want to race, let us know. We'll get you in contact with the right people. I believe you can still race this event as well. This is a special event, of course, for SMRA. We're brand new to that group. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're having two kind of oddball broadcasts out there to kick off the new year. I'm excited. And then Tuesday, we get right back to it, hit the ground running with the BRB Sundance Pro Series as we head out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Thursday, it'll be a doubleheader. We have the North American Racing League at Red Bull Ring with their new GT3 season number 9. And then we have the Sim Auto Racing Association Super Series later that night. Literally, as soon as we end the North American Racing League broadcast, we're beginning the Sarah broadcast. It's going to be turn one off and turn the other on. We'll be taking those cars, the super late models, to Lanier down in Georgia. That's going to be a lot of fun. Love that racetrack. And then we do have one set for Saturday, kind of a TBD. And when we know more, you guys will know more, as we have plenty of broadcasts to tell you about it here through the first kind of 10 days of 2026. So as we take a few moments here, we have 10 or so seconds left of qualifying. Zach, how was your holidays?
Long, tiring, and I spent a lot of it asleep. I won't deny. Went to downtown Charlotte for New Year's, had a blast. Christmas was great. I hope yours was as well. I hope everybody has had a fantastic holiday. And now it's the new year, it's 2026, and I'm ready to ring it in with some racing.
Ready to get 2026 started here on the broadcast side. Of course, it is the 4th day of the new year, but first broadcast day for us, and here we are in the iRacing.com sim. Let's take a look then at the first starting grid of this brand new year, brought to you by ATVO. Down on the inside of row number 1, it is going to be Lloyd Moore in car double aught, and he will lead us to the green this morning alongside the 0-1 to the 0-0 and the 0-1 on the front row. Kevin Bullock will start from second. Starting back in third position, Michael Alley in the 22 alongside Douglas Scalise. I believe that's correct, and Doug, by all means, correct me. But Douglas Scalise, I believe, there on the outside of row number 2. And to complete the top half of the field, Chris Perry, car 34, Zach.
Rolling off 6 going to be Sean Hughes to complete road number 3. And then right behind him is going to be Mark Bender in that 7th spot, with Austin Adams to his outside in the 8th spot. And then right behind them, rounding out in the 9th position, is going to be Jonathan Reddick in the 12. So that's going to be your 9-car field, 5 rows of racing for 150 laps.
So it is a smaller field. Again, this is to get ready for their 2026 season, I believe, of 36 races. They're running the full NASCAR calendar, I believe, and they have got a big year ahead of them. This is just the field that could drum up this morning. It's not the afternoon, this morning. So still, good field of drivers. We're going to meet some guys virtually, I suppose, and get to know these guys a little bit ahead of 2026. We do have the Whiplash SimCams race details to go over. Here they are: 150 laps, 80 miles, 3 change sets out there, 50% fuel. Cautions will count, and 3 green white checkers should we need them. Fixed setup. This was set last night, actually, when there was no fast fix, but a fast fix has been added for these drivers. So that's a look at the first Whiplash SimCams of 2026. Whiplash SimCams race details. See, it's early in the morning, Zach. I tell you what, I killed my last alarm 33 minutes ago. I had everything set, ready to go late last night, but I turned off my last alarm 33 minutes ago. But here we go. For the first green flag of 2026, the iRacing.com safety car heads to the relative safety of pit lane, and we're going to get started here. Bristol Motor Speedway is green in 2026. One lap complete, Lloyd Moore at the front of the field in car 00. Kevin Bullock in position number 2, Michael Alley in position number 3 as they get single file. It looks like the bottom is actually working for these guys. I know, of course, this has been a subject of contest for years now. Progressive making Bristol, a lot of guys finding success on the top side of the racetrack. I do like that bottom personally.
I'm more of a fan of the topside runner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I think it's got a little bit more grip up there, and I think as the run goes on, you'll start seeing some of those guys shift up to the top side once the rubber starts getting laid down. But you've really got to lay it down early. You've got to try to find a way to get that rubber up there now, so we got to pass to the inside. That's the 22 car of Alley going right on by Kevin Bullock in that 01 car. That's a big margin. That 01 is going backwards very quickly.
Doug Scaly is about hit the 01 on the way by, and the 75 of Hughes about hit the wall on the way by, but they get by the 01 of Bullock, who's got the Asplin colors on that Chevrolet. And he drops back to the midpoint of this 9-car field, and Bristol's a tough one, and this is actually going to be really, I think, helpful for these drivers that are running this race here today to get some more experience in this car at Bristol Motor Speedway, especially in this next-gen car, Zach. I have never really gotten comfortable with it myself. This is a really challenging combo, and to get any extra laps here, I think is going to be helpful ahead of their 2026 campaign.
Yeah, if you've ever run the iRacing special event, Bristol Night Race, the full distance at this track in the next-gen car, it's a toughie. 500 laps around this racetrack is incredibly tough to do, especially once those tires start wearing out and get into a long green flag run. It can be really challenging to really adapt to how the racetrack changes. But, you know, you've got a relatively short race compared to all things. I mean, it's 150 laps for a track like this and a car like this. It feels like a sprint. We're already 10 laps in, and, you know, these guys are starting to get a little racy here for second.
Michael Alley, second place. Sean Hughes, third. Hughes a little loose there off of turn number 2. You know, we do have a couple of great partners with this event today, and one of them, while these guys are getting a little crazy, let's wait a second, actually, as Liquid Death Chevrolet will pass the number 22 of Michael Alley. While the back end of the 75 car doesn't exactly look secure right now, but what is secure is BoostedSafe, and BoostedSafe, today's presenting partner, is the world's first car safe that securely latches directly into the back seat of every vehicle, large enough for your laptop or gaming devices, so you can feel secure even when on the go. Check it out at BoostedSafe.com and use code iRacing20 for 20% off at checkout. I'll tell you about another partner here in a little bit. We've got two great partners with us today with this All-American Racing League. They are one of them. They are the presenting partner here today at Bristol, and we'll talk more about BoostedSafe later on as there's a pass here for third. I will say one thing I've noticed at Bristol, lately in the broadcast we've done here and there is it seems like it's wearing tires more on iRacing as of late, and I think we're seeing that here currently as one car is actually in the pit lane. Didn't even notice Chris Perry has headed to the pit lane. That is car 34. And unfortunately, the David Ortiz Boston Red Sox lookalike is already 5 laps down. I gotta say, I did see the username on Discord for Douglas in third place. He's kind of the league owner, is Jets fan. And if you know me, you know I'm a Boston and New England fan pretty much for everything but hockey. Football, baseball, like Boston, New England, that's my thing. And I'm glad to see a Boston Red Sox car in Chris Perry. Unfortunately, he's having some trouble. But Douglas Scaley is very open that he is a New York Jets fan. And, well, I guess we'll see the Patriots in the playoffs. And I think that says enough.
I don't know what it says about me, but my parents are Saints fans, so I usually just root for the Saints when I watch football.
I feel like the whole NFC South at this point can be sent back down to, I don't know, the UFL, the AFL, college. That goes for the Panthers, the Falcons too. It's been a rough 2025 for them, but here we go, battle for third.
Good.
They lost last night to Tampa Bay. Anyways, here we go. Crash ahead. The 75 of Sean Hughes in trouble. Watch out.
A little ping pong with the wall right there. As Hughes gets that car rolling, you can see the left front damage on that 75 car. It doesn't look too terrible. Looks like he should be able to continue, but that's a heavy look. Let's see where that wheel's at when he comes around.
It's not good.
It looks kind of straight.
It's not good. He's turning an awful lot left. Where that left rear looks lower on the race truck than that left front. Yeah, that's not good. So the first big incident here of the race. And Sean Hughes, the number 75 Chevrolet, prompts this caution. Just got loose out of turn 4. Oh. And I was kind of reminiscing about past Bristol broadcasts we've done the last year or so. Since this track has been updated and whatnot. It's actually the first since the track got visually updated again. But regardless, go back to BRB when they still ran the Next Gen Cup car, in this case, this car. I definitely feel like we saw a lot of that. What we just saw out of Hughes, we saw a lot of that, even from the BRB guys, just getting loose off the corner, kind of crashing on the front straightaway, back straightaway even. This racetrack, especially turn 4, just does not like the NASCAR Gen 7 for some reason. It just doesn't quite get along with it. I guess it's the independent rear suspension, would be easy to say. It's a little bit hard to handle on corner exit when you've got these high banks and tight quarters.
There's a lot of contributing factors to that as well. I mean, you go from a traditional steering box to a rack and pinion steering, like you said, the independent rear suspension. You've got the diffuser with the ground effect type style underneath the race car. There's so many different contributing factors that make this car a little bit more difficult to drive. And not to mention, I don't know if it contributes to really anything when it comes to how the complexity of the car is on corner exit, but it's also, like we've all known, it's very rigid. As lights are out atop the pace car, get ready to go green this time by, it's very rigid. There's so many different things on this race car that really contribute to how quirky, I'm going to say. I feel like that's a really good word to use. Quirky it is to handle at short tracks and even at speedways and road courses now.
Well, as we get ready for the second green flag here of the new year, want to give a big thank you to our partners here at the channel, and they've changed just a little bit. Whiplash Simcams, MX Wraps, ATVL, Murtis Esports, CC's Business, and the North American Racing League. Here we go. Turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. We are racing once again. Bristol Motor Speedway with a bit of a lazy restart, but we're racing for sure. Not really sure what just happened on the front straightaway, but a new race leader, Mark Bender, will take over. Car 33, first lap off of the restart. And as you kind of saw there in that caution period, the top 2 cars stayed out. Everybody else has got new tires.
I think the leader caught himself sleeping on the restart.
On board with Lloyd Moore, car 00, third place. He's looking to get by the Aspen 01 of Kevin Bullock. And he will. New tires definitely are going to help these guys. They have 3 sets in the pit lane, as we mentioned earlier in the Whiplash Simcams race details. You know, it's hard to say if you should have taken a set right there because it is still so early in this race. But it is certainly going to help these guys on the short run. We'll see if it helps them long run or not. I can understand why it was a somewhat split decision at the very least.
Oh, we're side by side for that second spot. Side by side for third now. Everything just kind of diffusing quickly with new tires coming into prominence, like you said.
And, you know, I made sure to talk about the New York Jets fandom here for Douglas Scalise as he passes the 01 of Kevin Bullock. I do want to mention he is running a pretty cool paint scheme out there, of course. A nod to Greg Biffle in his later years with Roush Fenway Racing, that is now RFK Racing. Of course, if you're in the racing world and on social media, you've likely seen the news by now. We did lose Greg Biffle and his family in a tragic accident in Statesville, North Carolina a few weeks ago, December the 18th. And it was difficult to process that day. We had our final broadcast of 2025 that day, actually, with the Curran Winter Classic, and that whole day, just something obviously felt off. You know, the news, I think, is explanation enough, but it was a little hard to process. It's still hard to believe here, even in the new year, but certainly thinking of Greg here in 2026 as we do have a crash towards the back of the field. The underdog, number 22, in trouble, and that is Michael Alley. I saw one other car slow, and I'm going to say that's Mark Bender likely, as he's down to the 5th spot. I'm just trying to go on a tangent about Greg Biffle, and these guys are crashing.
What was the phrase? There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Did I get it right? I grew up on classic cartoons.
I think you might have. Unfortunately, might be a reason to fear because the 22 was pretty banged up when we saw him there. Let's see what happens. See a close call behind them.
There's a little bit of right front damage on that 22 already. Oh, he just snaps on exit, kicks it back to the right.
Oh, wow. You know what, Zach? I feel like that could apply to our brand new award for 2026.
Hit me with it.
You know.
I do. I just want to hear you say it.
All right, so for 2026, we're breaking out the brand new Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss, and this could be one. This is a little bit slower, admittedly, but definitely I think when you look at it from the TV perspective, Mark Bender had to get on the binders in a hurry.
I really think you could also look at it from the learning perspective, because these guys, while it is a recruitment race, you see lock the brakes up there too on the right side. While it is a recruitment race, it also kind of acts as a learning race for a lot of these guys that are going to be running around each other for, 36 weeks. So taking the moments that you have them to learn how to react to these incidents at these types of tracks it's going to help you moving forward throughout the season.
But Mark Bender definitely using his brakes here today. Staying heads up with that particular incident into turn number 3. I think that can constitute as our first nomination for a Murtis Mega Miss, and you can see the Murtis Esports Discord link at the bottom of that graphic. So Douglas Scalise will take over the race lead. It seems. We had another batch of pit stops, but not many took to the pit lane. Lloyd Moore, Mark Bender, and Michael Alley took to the pit lane. Everybody else stays out. Green flag here. Lap 39 becomes lap 40. We're racing again in Bristol, Tennessee. First lap complete off the restart, and look at the gap ahead of Bullock already. Now Scalise is on not brand new tires, but 18-lap-old tires. And Kevin Bullock here has not changed tires yet, Zach. You can see there is a big difference.
Definitely a big difference, almost a full second.
But you know what? The 0-1 started running back down.
Place. Well, he was for a moment. Now that gap has gone up by about another 0.2 for a moment here. But, you know, I think when it comes to the fact of not having a huge field, it gives you an advantage when it comes to pit strategy. So when the caution comes out or you get a stage break, it's really easy to justify going into the pit lane and getting new sets of tires, especially when you have more sets available than you really know what to do with, and when you have cars that aren't on the lead lap. So that's just less track position that you're going to lose, which makes it easier to gain back in the long run. I feel like from a strategy perspective, utilizing the availability of the tires that you have is not a bad idea, especially when we're rolling up on our first third of the race being completed here in the next 5 laps.
We are actually knocking down this race with decent pace, I'd say. We are, as you say, approaching the first third being completed. Now, Scalise, he has walked away. He's out by 2 seconds at this point over Reddick, Bullock, and Moore. This is the battle for second place. Bullock on the inside, Reddick has gone by on the outside, and here comes Austin Adams looking at the outside as well in car 27. Here a downshift there for Austin Adams, down to 4th gear, trying to get a run off the corner. Didn't quite hit it, just right there in 4. He's going to try down low, downshifting again. And side by side now, second place. They get after it.
12 car up the racetrack. Reddick very, very close to that outside wall, side by side with the 27 of Adams here. You know, and that top line is just not playing favorites today. It's not been very beneficial. Usually it's got a little bit more grip to it, but it just seems like that every time someone jumps up to the outside today, all they do is drop further and further back. As you can see, Bender clears that 12 car, slides up right across the nose. Now swaps up to that middle line, crossing over on exit. You know, that's actually an interesting line that I like myself running here at Bristol, where you enter a little bit more into the middle line and then you cut down to the yellow line on corner exit, drive it back up to the wall as you get onto the straightaway. It's very effective as the tires start to wear, but the more you use it, the more it can wear your tires a little bit more.
I will say, watching this field run, that's a big miss there for the 27. Could we say mega miss even for the 27 of Austin Adams? He just got in deep there in turn 3, locked up the brakes. But as I'm watching this field, they are churning around. There is no stability right now, and that you can't predict who's going to be in what position on any given lap. Got to be right there, a pass between the 75 and 12. These guys are moving around a whole lot.
Yeah, everything just seems to be, I want to say, a little chaotic. Everyone's just trying to find their line. I mean, you can see towards towards the back of the line. It's a little bit out of camera shot as we swap onto the straightaways. Michael Alley in that 22 car. He's a lap down still at the moment from his earlier spin in the Underdog Racing Machine. You can still see he's got some prominent damage on that race car. He just spent a little bit of time in the wall not too long ago. I think he had some contact with one of the other drivers, but he definitely got a little bit of extra damage being in that outside wall. He's just trying to find some stability here himself. Settle into a run, get a nice rhythm, find a way to reel these guys in, maybe see if he can get a lap back, but you can see a wiggle there off of turn number 4. He's just trying to find something in this race car right now.
It looks like Alley has not yet taken his fast repair, so he's still got some time to use it and get that car back to proper racing condition. Oh boy, lately there's been a big shift. Bullock has made a second up on Scalise here, and he is still reeling that 16 car in a hurry. Something has flipped very quickly with these top two.
Yeah, Bullock's running the bottom now.
It was a 2-second gap just moments ago. Now it's down to about a half second. The 16 has no tires, and wow.
What do you want to bet? That Scalise did not save his tires all too well. Went out there, built up a gap. Now that gap's coming down.
That's what it looks like. I mean, that's what the eye test would suggest. I wonder if there's something else going on here, but yeah, that gap closed up in a hurry, and they're going to battle here for the top spot. 60 laps into this 150 lap race as there's a caution now. Jonathan Reddick turned around, caution on the front straightaway. It looks like Chris Perry also involved. And that is not what the 34 needed, nor the 12. And they've both got a lot of damage.
Look at that 12 car. Fender is just hanging off. No meatball flags, though, at the moment. Not to mention, they do still have their fast repairs. More than likely, they're going to be taking them at the moment.
Well, I think they've each taken theirs.
Oh?
Admittedly, I forget if, I forget exactly how ATVO displays the fast repairs on their timing and scoring. I don't recall if a 1 of 1 means they've already taken it or they have it left. I for the life of me, we just haven't done many fast repair broadcasts lately. And even this race was intended not to have one at first. So I just can't recall. But here's the moment between these two cars. The 34 ahead, the 12 behind, and Perry just gets up to the outside wall and leaves Reddick nowhere to go.
Yeah, just bounced right off the outside retaining wall, and well, that's all she wrote.
Here's the onboard for Reddick. This was not a mega miss, unfortunately. Oof.
Heavy impact for both of them. Hearing there's a couple of pit road penalties as well as we roll through a couple more replays.
Yeah, one
Sounds
more
like
look
some
here.
drivers are missing the commitment cone.
You can see that for Reddick. He had started 9th and was working his way through the field at one point, led a couple of laps. By the way, he is still in the pit lane. I think, well, yeah, no, I think he's going to be struggling here.
Reddick already 1 lap down. So the 22 car of Michael Alley has gotten back onto the lead lap. And now Reddick has gone a lap down. So there you see Alley dropping to the tail end of the field. He was up to the 2nd spot. You can see it there on the graphic just below at the bottom of the screen. He was up to 2nd while taking the free pass. But now since he has tagged the tail of the field and will restart from there. But hey, back on the lead lap, still in it.
And the iRacing.com safety car lights have been extinguished, so we're restarting this one single file. which is likely going to string these guys out a little bit. You see a gap there from first to second. The 75 hanging back a little bit. That's Sean Hughes. Green flag on the way. Restart zone. We're racing again. Bullock has finally pitted. He is down, though, to the 5th position as Lloyd Moore goes by. Bullock, it seems like, has been pretty good so far at saving his tires. I'm not concerned at all that he is laying back on this restart. Give him some time. He was clearly quick before. I think he'll be quick again as Mark Bender has got those tires primed and ready to go racing again. He's got 30 lap hole tires. They've got some heat in them still, and so he fired off really nicely. The rest of these guys have cold tires that are warming up now.
Yeah, hearing from the radio communications, you saw it on the restart. It looks like a couple of them decided to start in 3rd gear. So that might have caused our little pandemonium on the restart, but everyone made it through nice and clean. No spins, no wrecks. We are still rolling clean and green. Reddick has gone 6 laps down, Perry 15 laps down, so 7 cars at the moment on the lead lap. And looks like Mark Bender is just trying to extend that gap as much as he possibly can. About half a second right now. Hughes is trying to close in, not getting too close as Moore and that 00 is coming up fast.
And you know what? I think these guys are still waking up a little bit. I know we are. And while I don't personally have a bag of this stuff yet, I might have to get one. Bully Dog Coffee Company is the presenting partner of the All-American Racing League in 2026, and founded by Patrick Bowler with nearly 2 decades of experience in the coffee industry, Bully Dog Coffee Company turns the process of making coffee back into a ritual, better supporting your caffeine needs and local dog shelters in Central Arizona in the process. Order your first pound of Bully Dog Coffee Company coffee for as little as $15 with promo code FAST10 at checkout today. That's FAST10, all caps, FAST10. I checked, the promo code works. I was on the website last night checking things out. It looks pretty good. It's all inspired. All the flavors are inspired by either the owner's dogs or friends' dogs, and the goal obviously is to make some coffee, but also give back and help local dog shelters in Central Arizona. I recognize the phone number, actually, not the number itself, but the area code. I'm from Arizona originally, so when I saw 928 as the area code for Bully Dog, immediately my ears perked up, I suppose, just like a pit bull might. But point being, they give back to the shelters around them. They are very dog focused, very dog centric, and they want to give back to shelters around them, help dogs out, and everything on their website is dog inspired. So Bully Dog Coffee Company, you can literally just type that into Google. Their website will come up. Very cool from what I've seen so far. And again, $15, that's not too bad for a bag of coffee off the internet. That's pretty solid, honestly, and there's some really good options as far as flavors. I might have to check one out myself. I can tell you, a pot of coffee would help right now. It's 10:30. I've woken up a little bit, and personally, I do stick to energy drinks mostly. I've been very candid about that in the past, Zach. But boy, I'm lagging a little bit. I think these drivers might be a little bit as well, even though the 33 got there in the wall. That's not ideal. Mark Bender sliding back, but here's Kevin Bullock on those new tires that he's saving, starting to move back through the field.
Clearing that 33 of Mark Bender up into the 3rd spot. He's got some work to do at the moment. He's currently sitting about 2.2 seconds behind that 00 running up at the front of the field, Lloyd Moore, who is currently setting the pace just past the halfway mark in this 150 lap Bristol race. There you see Lloyd, he's rolling through turn number 4. That gap is coming down ever so slightly, about actually it's going up. Went up to about 2.3 seconds. Now up to Hughes though, that gap is coming down. So Kevin Bullock trying to find a way to move forward into that 2nd spot. Maybe get a little bit more clean air on the nose and see if he can't go up there and chase the leader down.
And of course, this is a preseason kind of recruitment race for these guys. I don't think there's a whole lot on the line. I don't know specifically, but I don't think there's a whole lot more than bragging rights. But I think Bullock wants to start working on his craft and get ready for 2026 in a big way. He looks good. Honestly, Zach, you know, we've toyed around with adding kind of a pics of the race graphic and stuff like that. And certainly, we're always looking to do things like that. But if we had one right now, he would be my pick. He just seems the most cool, calm, collected, and seems like he's got these tires underneath him really, really nicely.
I think so too. I think he's doing a really good job of keeping those tires in a good standpoint. I think all around, from the green flag runs that we have had, he has done the best overall in saving those tires. So it's definitely going to help him over the course of the run. And if we stay green like this, then it's definitely going to play to his benefit.
Working nearly onto lap 90 here of 150, so 61 to go as we crack onto the 90th lap of this race. Lloyd Moore leading. There's the Duramag 00. Fired out of a cannon on that restart, quickly to the race lead. Got the apron there a little bit into turn one. That's okay. I feel like you can move around a little bit here at Bristol, a lot more than you used to be able to. You know, 25 years ago, the line was very thin, I feel like, around this racetrack. Now, you can move around a little bit. You can search around for grip. You know, we talked about it briefly earlier. The progressive banking here at Bristol has opened this track up. I know it's been highly contested, you know, very controversial at one point. But I definitely think Bristol has started to come into its own. I think it's a multi-lane short track, kind of like some of the higher banked racetracks you see across the country throughout short track racing, right? I don't know, it feels like it's getting more and more versatile as time goes on. And of course, they were looking for that versatility through, you know, traction compounds such as PJ1 and stuff, but I think they've found traction. I think maybe it was staining the racetrack with that stuff. I don't know. As there's Perry in the background, he's back on the racetrack 36 laps down. You know, I don't know what did it for Bristol, but it seems like the track has gotten better with time as Michael Alley has taken to the pit lane here. Unsure what has gone on for the 22 car, but he is stationary. And lights up the rears, and he will get rolling again.
Rejoins the racetrack 6 laps down. The next car 1 lap down on the racetrack is going to be that 27 of Austin Adams. So 5 cars currently on the lead lap. There you see that 27 car trying to roll that top line, a little bounce off the wall. There goes Bullock on by, and there you see Reddick going on by as well. He's 31 laps down. That 27 car, that right front is bent up a little bit, so Adams is trying to roll with it best he can. We're 2/3 the way into this race, Andrew. Rolling up on lap 100. At the completion of lap 100, we'll have 2/3 of the race down. And Lloyd Moore has just set sail. Kevin Bullock has lost further time to the race leader. Now it's 3.3 seconds. And the caution flag is out on the racetrack. And it looks like Reddick has finally gotten that car around once again.
Right at the 2/3 mark. I think if you've still got a set in the pit lane, this might actually be a good time to take it. You know, to be fair, just, you know, with the situation at hand, there aren't a terrible, you know, amount of cars here. I think you can work back through the field, even if you take tires, and the rest of these guys don't, as you see the kind of lazy slide around there for the 12 car of Reddick. Hey, you know what? He got it down in harm's way. I got to give him credit there. He was at danger of coming back in front of the field there on the front stretch into turn 1, and he wrestled that car back down onto the apron. So props to him there. Back to that point about tires, I feel like you could take your final set here and be okay the rest of the race. You can actually use them a little bit, save them a little bit. This might be a good point to do it. And we're seeing some drivers agree. Lloyd Moore down through the pit lane. He just picked up a new set. Mark Bender did as well. Sean Hughes also grabbing some tires. Douglas Scalise in the pit lane. He's working back out of the pits. Austin Adams got the free pass, it looks like.
27 car pack on the lead lap now.
But look at who stayed out.
Kevin Bullock.
And he was faster on old tires before. Faster on old tires than new tires earlier. So, or at least newer tires. So this could work out for the 0-1, I feel like. He's got the track position here. Even if a car or two passes him, I like the spot he is in. And here soon, we're not doing it just yet, but it is on our radar. Of course, the driver of the day conversation that we talk so often about, it's coming up. I think there is one clear contender right now in my mind of who to nominate first. And I think it's going to be this 0-1. There's other contenders in the running for sure. But I think the 0-1 definitely needs to be on there. I know if you don't take him, Zach, I will.
I can see why you want to take him. I respect it, but we're too wide. We're doubled up. We're getting ready to go back green here with about 46 laps to go. Pace car is going to make that hard left turn onto the pit lane. Back into the Echo Park restart zone, and green flag is back in the air at Bristol.
Big checkups from Chris Perry. He falls back big time on that restart. Granted, he's 36 laps down, but he did not get going well at all. Kevin Bullock able to get away big time. He's already got a decent lead over the rest of the field for position. The car behind him currently is a 22 of Michael Alley, who's 6 laps down. Bullock, though, has over a second back to Bender in the pink 33.
I wanted to say, Alley kind of came to life here on the restart. Shifted himself up there. He's 6 laps down, like you said, but maybe trying to get some of those laps back the hard way. It ain't over until the checkered flag drops, and the driver that has been leading a ton of laps here, Lloyd Moore, he's sitting back here fighting Mark Bender for that second spot, trying to work his way back up to the race lead, take advantage of those new tires, and he's going to rip it up through the middle to the top line. Maybe cross him over. There it is, down to the bottom, gets underneath the 33 car, and the double aught is up into the second spot.
Sean Hughes runs the fastest lap, though, in car 75. He runs in 4th, chasing these guys, the Purple Liquid Death Chevrolet. He's trying to chase down Mark Bender for that 3rd position, but yeah, Lloyd Moore, he also looks pretty good. I think for sure the front row from the original green flag, the 0-0 and 0-1, definitely feel like the top 2 drivers in this race here today.
Absolutely. I think it's pretty well reflected at this point as the laps are winding down and closing that gap ever so slightly more and more. It's down under 9/10 of a second. The gap between first and second as the caution flag is back out once again. And it is Reddick once again spinning down in turn number 1, just as he did on the previous caution.
I don't think he's happy.
And 75 of Sean Hughes is around on the front stretch now as well.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think the 12 car is entirely happy with how his race has gone. And then there was something after the fact. So let's see this for the 12 of Reddick. And there's plenty to look at with the Bender, I'll tell you, Bender and Hughes incident in just a moment. But here's Reddick. Looks like it'll be the next lap around. He's been in every position so far today but first, and unfortunately I don't think he's going to get there. Just got loose off the corner, into the wall. That is a frustrating way for that to have gone for sure. Then wrestles it down and just loops it around. I can understand the frustration, but then there's a whole incident as you brought to our attention with the 75 and the 33. So here's the 33. And watch these guys here out of turn number 4. Bender on the outside. He gets loose, gets into the door there at the 75 and spins Hughes around. I think we can safely say it wasn't intentional, Zach, but definitely not ideal to have that as the cautions coming out.
Just a little tap on the right rear, sends him around. Bender locked it down as to not cause any further contact. Just lets the field roll on by on the top.
And so, Kevin Bullock continues to lead here under this caution. Just over 30 to go. And there we go, 1 to green. These guys will get back going this next time around. Again, I want to give a big thank you to our presenting partners of this event here today. Of course, BoostedSafe. This is the BoostedSafe 150. You can check them out at BoostedSafe.com and use promo code iRacing20 for 20% off at checkout on your BoostedSafe system to walk into the backseat of your car to protect your gaming system, your laptop, or who knows what else. BoostedSafe.com for all your car safety needs in that way. And of course, Bully Dog Coffee Company helping wake us up here on a Sunday morning. Green flag on the way. We are racing once again at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 16 making some big money moves on that restart up to 4th. Downshifts there in 1 and 2, but I'm starting to notice up there for the front spot, the top spot. Moore is on Bullock. Look at this.
The fight has started for the race lead.
Fastest
and
lap
Moore
right
with
there.
the fastest lap. Oh, baby. He is pushing that car for all it's got right now.
Yeah, Lloyd Moore on the back end of Kevin Bullock big time. Move for the race lead and slides right on by the 00 taking over. Bullock got loose there off of turn number 2 all the way down to the apron.
Muscled him.
30 to go and a big lead change. We thought we had it figured out with the 0-1, but Lloyd Moore trying to shut us up.
And Mark Bender starting to come into the picture as well. He's bringing Scaleless with him. They're not too far behind that 0-1 of Bullock. Trying to find a way forward. You see Hughes right there as well.
I definitely think, and this is no disrespect to anybody in the field, but I think your top 5 in the field are in the top 5 positions currently.
Well, a move for 3rd. Scaleless underneath Bender. Muscle him a little bit, gets up to 3rd, and now you've got Sean Hughes taking a look to the bottom to see if he can't push that car a little bit further forward.
Remember, these two had that contact as the previous caution came out. And Bender lets that 75 car get on by.
And you talk about driver of the day picks and some drivers that are quite blatantly obvious when it comes to the picks today. But, you know, you said you were going to go with Bullock. I would have to go with Moore if I had to make a pick now.
Go ahead.
That 00 has been... That 00 has been quick.
Go ahead and make your picks. Does that mean Moore is one of them?
Yeah, I think I'm going to make my first pick for Lloyd Moore in that 00, and then my second pick, I think I'm going to go with Scaleless. Been solid, been quick in that number 16, that Greg Biffle's throwback. I gotta say, he's impressed me so far. Started fourth, he's up to third, he's made some good passes, he's even led some laps. I think he's got a good shot here if things fall in his favor.
Give me Kevin Bullock. The 01 has been really, really good on longer runs, and I don't know that you can really warrant pitting at this point in the race, even if a caution comes out. I just don't know if there's enough laps to truly use the tires to the end of this one. And they give me Sean Hughes as well. So the 01, the 75, we're going to keep it a little boring here, I think, with the top four, but that's okay. Sean Hughes for my second driver of the day nomination. So we're going to nominate these four drivers and get a YouTube poll up. So if you're brand new to how this works, as we probably have a couple of new viewers at the very least today, you got to be watching over on YouTube and just go vote. We've nominated four drivers. We've made our picks. They're the top four on the racetrack currently with 20 to go. And you can pick any of them. You can vote and make your opinion heard in this way for the North American Racing League Driver of the Day. Lloyd Moore, Kevin Bullock, Douglas Scaleless, and Sean Hughes up for Driver of the Day here at Bristol Motor Speedway in the BoostedSafe 150. Laps are winding down. We're inside of 20 to go. This is the battle for third. Hughes on the inside, Scaleless on the outside. Hughes is looking good.
We send into turn number 3 and up off corner number 4. They're still going to be side by side, but this should diffuse relatively quickly if that 75 car can commit fully to that bottom line. See the nose in front, see the whole car in front, and now fully clear of Scaleless in that 16. And caution is out. Oh, Jonathan Reddick spinning down to the bottom again. Oh my goodness.
This gives this Bristol race what it needs, I feel like. A late race caution to shake things up. Do you pit? Don't you pit? I don't know. I don't think you do.
5 cars on the lead lap. Oh my.
I think, again, just like earlier, frustration's boiling over for the 12 car currently.
Just a quick spin right there. Car straightens back out quite quickly, and, well, he's going backwards at that point. Hits the tires on the bottom line here. Gets the car rolling.
He has taken that car to the pit lane, and I don't imagine he'll be back out there immediately. But we see some pit stops going on. Bullock is down in the pits. I did not expect this.
I like it. I like the call. He's got to do something different. He's got to shake it up. You're going to have a quick run to the end. Mark Bender is in, so he's not really losing too much track position here. He'll restart second row. No other cars can get back on the lead lap at the moment. The only car to get a free pass is going to be Michael Alley, and he is still 4 laps down. So, call it as it is. Bullock is going to go down to the 4th spot. He'll restart top side, row number 2. You've got Hughes and Scaleless staying out. They're going to restart 2nd and 3rd. So, realistically speaking, from a competition standpoint, I would say that Bullock's only competition would be that 00 if he can get by the 75 and the 16 quickly. We'll have to wait and see, though.
This is interesting. Very, very interesting. We've seen some mixed fields on these restarts with some lapped cars restarting towards the front. I do think this is going to be a challenge for Bullock in the 01. We're going to have only about 10 laps to go when we go back green, and he's been better on long run, not so much on short run. And yeah, so he's going to restart. Looks like we're doing single file with lapped cars on the top of the racetrack. So lead lap cars bottom, lapped cars top. So Bullock is actually going to have to go, well, no, because Hughes is lining up top row. It's just a bit of a mix. Regardless, he's not lining up necessarily in 4th. He's kind of lining up in 5th. This suddenly feels like Lloyd Moore's race to lose. Here we go. Restart zone coming up. Into the restart zone. Lloyd Moore brings us back green flag racing. A good restart for the double lot. Let's see who wins here at Bristol.
This is where Bullock is going to have to just get by them as quickly as possible. Bender in the wall, spinning front straightaway. He keeps it straight, keeps it in the wall. We are still green flag racing. That right front is tore up, but the green flag still flies.
Those cold tires will reach out and grab you. 9 laps to go. Sean Hughes fastest on the racetrack that time as he tries to chase down Lloyd Moore. He's got his work cut out for him. Bullock still 2 spots back. I think it was too late to come get tires.
Gotta respect the call.
Bullock does go fastest. He's using them. He's on the back end of Scaleless, but contact there. The 0-1 gets by. That was a little sketchy. He's too far back in my mind. He's still a whole second back. 7 laps to go.
Seven to go. You might be right. Maybe this is the all she wrote.
Unless there's a caution, and we certainly could have one with 5 laps to go. Unless there's a caution, I think this is Lloyd Moore's race to lose. He could certainly give it up if he makes a mistake here. Sean Hughes, though, starting to fall into the grasp of Kevin Bullock. Battle for second lighting up on the racetrack currently. 4 laps to go this time by. Laps winding down quickly. The BoostedSafe 150 coming to a close. 4 laps to go.
Bullock quickly clears. He's up to second within 7/10 with 4 to go. Maybe it's not over, Andrew. Maybe he's got a shot at it. 8/10 up the racetrack. Now down to 7. Bullock's going to have to run 3 perfect laps to go catch that double lot car and get this race win. It's down to 6/10, 5/10 of a second.
If he gets there, it's going to be a last-ditch effort. He's going to have to choose a lane. Does he lay a bumper? Does he try to go around the outside? Oh, I don't like the sound there. It sounded like he bogged down in 1 and 2. That was 2 laps to go. White flag this time by for Kevin Bullock. Lloyd Moore leads. White flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. One more time around the world's fastest half mile. Zach, here we go.
Big send into 1 and 2. He taps the apron, though. Gets loose. I think that's it, Andrew. Off turns 3 and 4. Lloyd Moore hit the strategy perfect, and he's going to take the win here at Bristol.
Lloyd Moore with the race win and the BoostedSafe 150. The Duramag 00 finishes this race right where he started it. The front row returns back to how they started. That definitely was heads up, I think, by Moore not to pit there at the late caution. Tires are tempting, but... And Bullock might have even gained a net positive out of it, but it just wasn't enough to win here. I think it was just a little bit too little, too late. You see the burnout for race winner Lloyd Moore. Car 00 is number 1 on the scoring pylon today. And we'll take a look back at your unofficial race results here in just a moment, as we don't have a long list to go through. It'll save us some time there, Zach, as we wait on some driver interviews. But let's take a look here at where everyone finished in this 150-lap race, brought to you by BoostedSafe. Lloyd Moore on top. I gotta say, I mean, 85 laps led. I know I said at one point it felt like Kevin Bullock was the best car in the field. I'll take that back. I think it was very, very close between Lloyd Moore and Kevin Bullock, but I think definitely there's a clear favorite when it's all said and done.
I still think the 4 tires was a good call to make. I think maybe he just got a little too held up, and that's what caused a little bit of a slowdown trying to get up there. But I think Bullock made a good call, trying to go for 4 tires, trying something different to go catch that 00. But rolling down through the running order, you know, Bullock, Hughes in 3rd, Scalise keeps it in a good spot in 4th. Mark Bender 4 laps down in that 33 car, with Austin Adams right behind him 6 laps down. Michael Alley ended up going another 4 laps down at the end, ends up 7th. Chris Perry 37 laps down in that 34, and then Jonathan Reddick gets into the 9th position, 48 laps down, almost a full third of the race. But you know, I think these guys had a solid recruitment race for everything they had, and you know, Lloyd Moore just was able to show up and show out.
I can bring him in for an interview here. Definitely. I think these two on the top to have things figured out. The 00 and the 01. Let's bring in Lloyd Moore, who ends up grabbing the win after 150 laps here in the Boosted Safe 150. Lloyd, you know, I'll admit, for a little while there, you got some laps led early, then you kind of fell back. It looked like Kevin had the race figured out, but you clearly had the strategy to beat. You put yourself in the right place at the right time. What was the game plan like for that? Was it planned, or did you just kind of fall into it?
That was kind of planned, and I was kind of shocked. I thought the pace might be a couple of tenths quicker. So as I got up to the front there, took off out in the front early on, I was like, oh wow, these guys are really going to save their tires and try to make it a fuel run, stuff like that. So I backed off, and that was kind of the pace the rest of the way, except for that late yellow. And I knew Kevin took his new tires, and I was on older tires. I didn't have any more left. So when I got to that point, I just gave it everything it was worth, tried to make everything a qualifying lap on, tires that were, at 75%.
Well, it worked out. The Duramag 00 gets to victory lane here today. And of course, this is, to get ready for 2026. This has to feel good as well. Not just that you're in victory lane, but you're getting ready for the season, and you're already laying down some heaters, some really fast laps, starting on pole, winning the race, leading a bunch of laps. It's got to have you confident for the season ahead.
Yeah, I happened to see the opportunity. They were taking new league members here and stuff, and looking at other opportunities. I race in another league 4 nights a week, different types of cars, and they're doing away with the Cup Series car to another car for their Sunday races. And I'm like, no, I want to stay with the Cup cars, the Cup schedule. So this kind of fell into my lap. So this is my first time out with these guys. So like what I'm seeing, and obviously it's nice to be fast, and I like the short track, so that's kind of my niche. So kind of played into my hands today.
Lloyd Moore getting it done here on a Sunday morning. Congratulations. It's still only 11 o'clock. We got a bunch of NFL games going on today, but the whole day is still ahead of us, and you've already got a win.
Hey, I'll start it off with a win, watch a little football, and I'm going to log in. I've got a team that I race the Daytona 24 Hours coming up in a couple weeks, so do a little bit of practice for that too.
Sounds good. Lloyd, congratulations. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Lloyd Moore with a big win here on a Sunday morning, and that brings up Kevin Bullock, position number 2, Zach. I think he'll be happy with his effort, but certainly wanted more.
Absolutely. I feel like Kevin had such a great run, and, speaking on your run, Kevin, it was absolutely solid. You led 23 laps. You're one of the drivers really contending for the win. You made the last-ditch effort to take 4 tires as a strategy switch-up. What was going through your head there taking those tires on that last caution?
Well, I knew I burnt the tires up that second run. I could feel it. I didn't have the good run that I did the first time. So I figured I was going to do 2. I said, no, let's go 4. I thought for sure I could get to Lloyd a little bit quicker. I needed about 2 to 3 more laps. If I'd have had 2 to 3 more laps, I might have got him. He's a heck of a racer, man. And hey, I'll take second. I can't complain. That was a pretty good run.
It was definitely an amazing run. You definitely had a solid strategy, I will say, underneath you. And the thing that Andrew and I were noticing quite a bit up here in the booth is that you were doing the best out of every driver in the field. Realistically, in terms of tire saving, did you have any long run strategy in your head planned, or was it just kind of a go with the flow type of race?
I actually had a little bit of a strategy going on. I got up early this morning, and started running some laps, and I found out the tires they won't fall off as quick as long as you take them easy, the first 20, 30 laps. And it's like the car got faster and faster for me, the slower I went. And it kind of makes sense, the slower you go, the faster you go. So that's kind of what I did the first run. And that second stint, like I said, I got a little anxious there the second stint, wanted to get back up to the front and just make my pace, but kind of burned them up a little bit. And then if that caution would have come out just a lap or two, before, maybe it would have been a different outcome. But, all in all, my hat's off to Lloyd, and, it was a great race.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda for that win in that 0-1 car. You did a great run today, Kevin. A phenomenal job. Hopefully we'll see you some more, but that was a great race.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all doing the broadcast, and I want to give a shout out to my mom. She's on here watching, and I know she loves to watch the racing going on, and give a shout out to my buddy Stephen Harden Electrical, and the company I work for, Asplin Electric Power System, and I appreciate Doug doing this league, and y'all have a good one.
You as well. Congratulations, Kevin, on your second place finish. And Andrew, I believe we have our third place driver standing by as well.
We actually don't. It looks like Sean Hughes not available for comment today. That's okay. We got to meet a couple of drivers and certainly get to know these guys a little better and see some great racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway to kick off 2026. And we can hang our hats high on that. I think that was a good race. I really do. Admittedly, when I woke up, you said, we got 7 cars in here, or 5 cars even, or whatever it was. Said then 7, then 8, then 9. It's a little alarming at first. But I think these guys did a really good job of making the most of 150 laps with just 9 cars out there, and that's hard to find. So yes, low car count for this kind of preseason recruitment race, but the positives are that they made a really good race out of very few drivers. And you add 20 more, make it a 30-car race. I think these guys really have something here for these Sunday mornings, and I look forward to seeing kind of how the league evolves and what goes on for 2026. I think it was a really good start here for these guys on a Sunday morning. Next up for us, though, tomorrow night, we have the Chili Bowl Nationals, brought to you by Sid Midget Racing Association and Assassin Designs. Going to be an exciting one. We haven't done Chili Bowl in a while. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since we've had a broadcast in that particular venue, and I'm excited. Of course, the virtual Chili Bowl is a bunch of fun. I really enjoy the Midget as a whole anyways. I think it's a really fun car. Taking it around a 5th mile inside of an expo center is going to be exciting tomorrow. So 55 laps of the feature. We'll have some limited alphabet soup, not the full rundown, but a few heats and contests and such into the 55 lap feature. It'll be kind of a Chili Bowl light experience in that way, a little more easy to digest, I suppose. And then Tuesday, we get back running with the BRB Sundance Pro Series, heading out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we get closer and closer to the chase for season number 5. And again, Thursday, we have that doubleheader. The North American Racing League at Red Bull Ring. Yes, Richard Wolsifer's in that. He's talking about it out in the YouTube chat. He's racing on Thursday as well, not only in the BRB Sundance Pro Series in an ARCA car at Las Vegas, but also, well, actually, so Richard, let me pause there. We have the pro race for NARL this Thursday. I believe Richard is in the AM race, so technically his North American Racing League race is next week, Thursday the 15th. So that is an important distinction to make, Zach. These guys are splitting down into 2 leagues this season. There's Pro and AM. So Pro and Pro-Am will race one week, and then AM will race the next week. We'll have coverage of both series which gives us even more North American Race League content here in the early portion of 2025. 16 races now instead of 8. Going to be a lot of fun. A lot of GT3 racing coming at you. And then later that night, we have super late models for the Sim Auto Racing Association Sarah Super Series. That'll be at Lanier, Cafe Nocte Lanier Raceway down in Braselton, Georgia. Going to be an exciting one for sure. And we might even have a race on Saturday. Stay tuned for that. We'll let you know once we know exactly what's going on. Hopefully we do. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But Zach, I think this is a great way to start 2026 off. Kind of ease us back into things, but we have a lot happening this week.
Ease us back into things, and we've got such a busy schedule for these next few days. And, you know, I'm excited for that Monday broadcast. Who doesn't want to win a Golden Driller? I can attest to how difficult that Chili Bowl race is to run in that Expo Center, but plenty of places to follow along here at Pitstop TV, pitstoptv.com for all your Pitstop TV needs, and then facebook.com/pitstoptv, instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, tiktok.com/pitstoptv1, twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, youtube.com/pitstoptv1. That's the best place to interact with us here at Pitstop TV, where all of our YouTube votes and fun interactive possibilities happen in the comments section, and then x.com/pitstoptv_. So many great races coming up. Obviously Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, the potential for Saturday. It doesn't reflect on the upcoming broadcast, but 2 races on Thursday with NARL and the Sarah Super Series. Really excited for that. Hey, I might actually be back in the booth for Sarah, so that's fun to hear. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think there's another BRB Sundance Pro Series driver competing in NARL, Mason Houseman, if I'm not mistaken.
Quite a few, I believe 7 actually will be racing.
Okay.
Yeah, Spirit Racing has upped their game and will be racing in the AM series here in 2026. So we'll have Richard Wolsifer, Braden Van Wingerden, Cameron Gilmore, Mason Houseman, Brendan Maddox, Braxton Skinner, and Zachary Brandvold, I believe, that are active BRB Sundance Pro Series drivers that are in that Thursday series with GT3 cars. And a bunch of really cool racetracks, and their portion of the series will get started next week, I guess, or in a week and a half, however you want to look at it. January 15th anyways, is when they will get to racing action. And again, Richard Wolfsford and all those other drivers will be in that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how they do in that kind of competition, going over to do some road course racing. I know a lot of those guys actually ran a race last night. They had some road course racing in benefit of a charity put on by Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and actually it was Adam Buzzio and Gavin Rogers who won that. So while they aren't racing on Thursdays, I think BRB as a whole is getting more into the road course thing. So anyways, we do have some stuff to button up here. The North American Racing League Driver of the Day vote, Zach, it's undecided. It's a 3-way tie, and
baby,
we're right here at the end of the broadcast. I don't know that we can extend it, so I think we have to start 2026 with a 3-way tie. Is that okay?
I think so.
So Lloyd Moore, well, here I'll put their names up in the graphic. Lloyd Moore will win joint honors along with Kevin Bullock in the 0-1 and Douglas Scalise, and I think that's okay to get the year started. 3-way tie for Driver of the Day. And you know what? Hey, the Cars movie had a 3-way tie, their own version of Bristol for the championship. I think the Driver of the Day is much less impactful than that. At least we don't have to have a 3-car race at Auto Club or something to figure it out. But Zach, I think this is a great way to get the year started. Final thoughts?
The track in Cars was supposed to be Bristol? I thought it was Homestead.
No, it was Bristol.
Motor Speedway of the South. Oh, man.
Well,
Final thoughts, I will say.
I guess
Great
final
race.
thoughts are that Zach needs to go rewatch Cars.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's a great movie. A big thank you to, of course, BoostedSafe and Bully Dog Coffee Company helping us out with this one. Again, Bully Dog Coffee Company, founded by Patrick Bowler, nearly 2 decades of experience in the coffee industry. I think about 12 years roasting himself, probably 13 now that we're in the new year. Bully Dog Coffee Company turns the process of making coffee back into a ritual in the way that it's a process that should be celebrated, and it better supports your caffeine needs and local dog shelters in Central Arizona. Order your first pound of Bully Dog coffee for as little as $15 with promo code, again, FAST10. That's FAST10, all caps, FAST10, 10. So FAST10 at checkout today. It does work. I checked it out last night. Some great flavors going on there. Again, that's Bully Dog Coffee Company and BoostedSafe, the other partner here today. Speaking of security, BoostedSafe, today's presenting partner, is the world's first car safe that securely latches directly into the back seat. I'd imagine it uses probably the hooks for car seats, if I had to guess, but latches directly into the back seat of every vehicle, large enough for your laptop or gaming devices or whatever else you might need to put in there, so you can feel secure even when on the go. I mean, that would be great for like airport parking garages, right? To be able to lock your stuff securely where you need it to be and keep it safe. Check out BoostedSafe.com and use promo code iRacing20, all caps, iRacing20 for 20% off at checkout. And of course, a big thank you to our partners here at the channel: Whiplash Simcams, MXWraps.com, ATVO, CC's Business, Murda C Sports. I gotta get used to the new order here, and then North American Racing League helping us out here in 2026 as well. And we saw everything that's upcoming for us here in the new year. A lot of great racing on the way. You've got to just stick around with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of racing coming up. We'll see you all tomorrow night for the Sim Midget Racing Association Chili Bowl and on through the new year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to come back. We'll see you then. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams.
Yeah, can really hold him off. He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But really just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if you can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time, lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway, ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 should have a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, Coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's going to try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's going to crash. Salas is going to crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is going to do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow.